Harley wakes up from a nap to the oh-so-familiar sight of her cell bars. Rick wonders aloud if their mission was completed, given that reclaiming the fort was supposed to grant them freedom. Deadshot argues they did nothing wrong, aside from a little enthusiastic destruction. Peacemaker, ever the clock watcher, notes they only have 12 hours before their bombs go boom. Just then, Fiona approaches. Clayface, assuming she's the princess, turns on the charm, but Deadshot interrupts, demanding their release date. Fiona, awkwardly apologetic, says she doesn't know but hopes their recent success means better treatment. Her words ring hollow while they're still behind bars. Fiona looks at Harley, who asks bluntly what she wants. Fiona hesitates, irking Harley, who snaps at her to spit it out. The others wonder why Harley is so ticked off, and she explains Fiona reminds her of her former self. Enter Cecil, jingling the cell keys, announcing the Queen's summons. Deadshot wonders what took so long. Flashback to Fiona's childhood. She's roof climbing with friends, avoiding mentioning her royal status. She hears about a friend's brother struggling due to rising bread prices and lack of chimney sweeping gigs. Cecil calls for her, reminding her she needs to get home or face a scolding. Before leaving, a friend asks when the war will end. Fiona doesn't know, only that the fighting is in the mountains. Later, Fiona gets a royal scolding for playing with commoners. She glares at Cecil, but the Queen clarifies it was the city guards who recognized her. The Queen reminds Fiona of her royal duties to end the war, but despite her efforts, her friends eventually get caught up in the violence. Back in the present, Cecil reminds Fiona of the upcoming War Council meeting. Fiona apologizes and prepares to attend, determined to help stop the war. At the meeting, the council watches a recording of Imperial Beast soldiers marching for an attack, causing panic. The Queen demands calm and status updates. The Imperial army is advancing through the forest, outmatching the guards. If nothing changes, they'll reach the kingdom in 2 days. In the midst of the panic, Harley demands to know why they're still shackled, pointing out their deal to be freed after reclaiming the fort. The Queen argues they failed by destroying it, but agrees to overlook it for now. She asks Rick to share his knowledge about the Empire's officers. Rick requests an explanation of the war's origins to better understand the situation. Cecil explains the kingdom has been at war with the Imperial army for decades, with the intensity ramping up in the past 6 months. This shift is due to elves and beastmen betraying the kingdom for the Empire. Rick is surprised, noting the beastmen they fought at the fort were originally kingdom subjects. Peacemaker calls them traitors, but Clayface suggests they might have had good reasons for their betrayal. Rick tells the Queen he suspects Ratcatcher caused the beastmen's betrayal. Ratcatcher could communicate with rats on Earth and might now control beasts. The Queen asks for suggestions to catch him, but they have none. Deadshot wonders why Rick didn't blow up Ratcatcher and other rogues since Amanda planted bombs in their next 2. Rick admits he doesn't know how it happened, but their bombs were defused. Amanda likely set the current team's bombs on a timer for this reason. With no useful insights, the Queen prepares to send them back to prison. Suddenly, Harley remembers something Joker told her about hunting rats. She shares the plan, which involves stopping Ratcatcher's army and forcing him to the front lines, though they lack numbers. Rick asks the Queen to lend soldiers in exchange for their freedom. The council mocks Rick's request, but Fiona supports it, though she's quickly shut down when the council asks if she'll take responsibility for potential casualties. Cecil adds that only his knights are available, but Harley knows where to find capable warriors. Later, at the destroyed fort, Harley recruits the ogres and orcs from prison. The ogre, still respecting Harley, agrees to follow her orders. Harley promises them freedom if they fight well, which motivates them. Meanwhile, Rick assigns Clayface a task, much to his dismay. Rick also scolds King Shark for eating food rations while Peacemaker cleans his gun. Cecil chats with Rick, questioning his willingness to fight alongside criminals. Rick admits he'd avoid these lunatics if he could but follows orders as a soldier. Clayface returns, having completed his task, and Rick thanks him. They discuss the battle plan, using barriers Clayface set up and a defensive line of ogres and knights to halt the Imperial army. Cecil notices Deadshot missing but learns he's perched as a sniper. Clayface asks Cecil about Princess Fiona, noting her earlier hesitation. Cecil describes Fiona as kind-hearted and deeply caring for her people. Harley scoffs, calling Fiona a wimp, prompting Cecil to nearly confront her before King Shark smells the approaching enemy. Cecil alerts the troops for battle while Harley and the others leave the fighting to the ogres. Ratcatcher and his army approach, noticing the barriers and soldiers. Confident in his puppets, he orders an attack, but the beasts ignore him. Realizing Deadshot destroyed his magic staff, Ratcatcher is left powerless. Earlier, Deadshot had theorized Ratcatcher's control came from the staff, leading them to set a trap to destroy it. Now freed, the beasts turn on Ratcatcher, tearing him apart. With the beasts no longer wanting to fight, the battle is won. As agreed, the team is freed, and their bomb timers are reset. The War Council celebrates the victory, except the Queen, who looks a mix of surprised, angry, and constipated. This concludes episode 4. Tune in next time for more chaos. Like and subscribe for upcoming episodes.